Putting Eve on, again, literally and figuratively, has been so much fun. And I think this Eve 2.0 is much more dramatic. Like, her makeup is like really doll, and the hair, I mean, it's like a doll come to life. Whereas when I look at the original, I kind of look like myself. But here I feel like there's this exaggeration, and I think people are gonna get a kick out of the eye candy of Eve. And in terms of being her, that was just like getting on that bicycle 19 years later. And I just feel like her. And sometimes I'm actually channeling my son. So certain things when she's like, oh, like my son's 2.5 years old, and I'm just really being him, and it's Eve.
That's fun. So you touched on it. Can you believe it's been almost 20 years?
I cannot believe that it has been this long. I can remember, I feel like the first Life Size, there was this new singer named Britney Spears that had just come out, and she was like totally cool. So it's been a while, and it feels so good to be back.
So the $64,000.
Oh, but I do have to say that I think Eve preserved really well over almost 20 years, right? Like, it don't crack, if you know what I'm saying.
I say it's immaculate, yes. So the $64,000 question, where are we on Lindsay Lohan coming back as we get a singer this week?
So, Lindsay Lohan, we have been DMing and texting for, I don't know, about 8 months, and she was like, when are we gonna do this? Let's get this, let's do this, let's talk, back and forth, until she now is like this club mogul. And she's filming a new television show about her club in Greece and can't be here. And you know, it's so funny, the fans at first were like, oh my gosh, no Lindsay, no Lindsay. And that was like 90% of the comments. But then Freeform kind of let the announcement out that she's not gonna be there, and it's not as much grumbling. I think they're ready to move on.
Okay. Does it present any special challenges that you're also EP?
Being EP this time means double duty. I can't just say, okay, cut, day's over, go home. It's like, no, we're dissecting the script. We're kind of punching up lines. You know, it's like, oh, this costs too much. We have to make a change. Oh, now it's raining. We're going to have to go inside and blah, 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 and da-da-da. And me coming up with things and me telling the actors, I think it'd be great if you did blah, blah, da-da-da-da. And they're like, action Tyra. And I'm like, hi, you're my special friend. Okay, can we change that shot? Can we make sure that's over there? Eve never says no to learning. Okay, can we learn a little something right now about this mistake that we just made on that last shot? I mean, it is like, whoop, 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 whoop. But I can handle it.
Okay. Long answer to a short question. What's it like having Francia on the project?
Oh my gosh, Francia is like my little sister. Like, we had such a wonderful time to bond before we started shooting, and I took her to a spa and treated her to a spa day here in Atlanta, and we got very intimate. I mean, we were in the jacuzzi, and I forgot my swimsuit, and so it was like, we really getting to know each other, girl. And now she's just like my little sister. She's so precious. And there's something about her eyes, like she doesn't even have to speak in a scene, and her eyes tell everything. Her eyes say, I'm pissed. Her eyes say, you know, I'm hurting. Her eyes say, I love you. Her eyes say, I'm scared. She has that gift.
My character, Grace, I guess could be seen as a wild child, but the way that I see her is someone that's just been through a lot of pain in her life, and she doesn't really, being a wild child or partying and drinking, that's her way of masking her pain, like everything is okay. So in this film, you see her drinking a lot, you see her partying, but again, it's the mask that we tend to hold up in public. But when you see her on her own, or as you get to know her with Eve, it's like her arm gets a little tired and her mask drops, and you almost get to know her a little bit, but she's also getting to know herself again. And it's like she feels exposed and exploited because she goes, I don't remember this version of myself. So you see a lot of growing pains in Grace.
Do you relate to Grace?
Of course I relate to Grace. I think we've all been there at some point in our lives where, you know, as we're growing up, especially through our teens, people are telling us who we should be, what we should like, and what we shouldn't like. And then at one point you go, I feel crazy. I don't know if I can keep this mask up anymore. And then you're like, I want to be myself. And you start going through your own, I've been through my own personal journey of like having different friends, trying to find myself. And, you know, it came to a point where I also had people come into my life that helped me find me and make me fall in love with myself again.
Nice. This is a big starring role for you. How are you feeling about it?
It is a starring role for me, and I'm very excited. I'll tell you because I loved this movie when I was 12 years old. My sisters and I were obsessed, and I can't even believe that, one, I'm working with Tyra Banks because she was my favorite model growing up. But it was because of this movie that I knew who Tyra was, and I just followed her career. So it's just crazy to me that I get to star in Life Size too. I mean, you don't understand, like, my sisters died when I called them and told them.